Cowboys at AT&T Stadium.
Anything that moves between these lines, got to get dealt with.
10-5, and he streaks in. Deep to the post to Lamb. At the 5 to the goal line.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
34-17, the final score. The Los Angeles Chargers take down the Dallas Cowboys in Week 16 of the NFL season. Welcome into Cowboys Game Night alongside Isaiah Stanback and Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeoman. So glad you're with us from the Star in Frisco. This was one where the Cowboys had some frustration going really mano-a-mano with the Chargers early. They went counter-punch through that whole first half, but the second half did not go in favor, and ultimately the Chargers run away with it at the end. Isaiah, I'll start with you. What were your thoughts on how the Cowboys and the Chargers battled out in Arlington today?
It was off to a good start. We talked about, the first half productivity for the Dallas Cowboys offensively was there. It was not there defensively. The Chargers were able to score 3 touchdowns and a field goal on their first 4 possessions prior to the half.
Yeah.
4 possessions, scored on all 4 possessions. The Dallas Cowboys had 4 possessions as well. The only difference was they had 2 touchdowns and 1 field goal. That was what they had going into the half. So they were behind early, and then the productivity stopped offensively for Dallas. However, the defense productivity was really never there. They gave up over 400 yards of offense. Herbert was making plays with his legs. He was making plays with his arms. We had receivers running down the field that were open. They were making contested catches. They were making the plays. They were doing anything and everything that they wanted to do offensively. And defensively, we never really made any stops in that second half.
He just stayed consistent. Jim Harbaugh loves consistency. He loves to run the ball. He loves to pass the ball. He acts as his quarterback to be a little bit more athletic than he's been in the past. He hit rush for 42 yards, so it was just a little bit more consistent on offense and defense.
And that's exactly how this one really came to fruition as time went on. Let's take a look at the highlights. Cowboys and the Chargers facing off. Unfamiliar foes for the most part. The Chargers had won 3 straight against Dallas coming into this one. The Cowboys opened with a commanding drive on their first possession. 10 plays, 79 yards, and a 5-yard touchdown pass to Ryan Flanoy. Cowboys up 7-0 early. However, the Chargers on their opening drive did the exact same thing. Justin Herbert launches this one into the arms of the Texas native Quentin Johnston in the end zone. The pride of Temple, Texas reels it in. It's 7-7. Cowboys did tack on a field goal late in the first. Into the second we go. Justin Herbert continuing to deal, this time to an open Ladd McConkey. A defensive breakdown ends up in the Chargers' first lead of the day. Dallas would answer quickly. Dak Prescott, who had a phenomenal first half, puts this one on the money to George Pickens, 38 yards out over the top of the Chargers defense, and the Dallas Cowboys retake the lead. Pickens had over 100 yards receiving in the first half, over 1,000 yards on the season for both him and CD Lamb. But prior to the break, under 20 seconds to play in the half, the Chargers punch it in with a quarterback sneak. Justin Herbert makes it a 21-17 game at halftime. Into the third quarter we go. Dallas did keep the Chargers out of the end zone in the third, but the Chargers tack on not 1 but 2 Dicker the kicker field goals to make it 27-17 into the fourth. Final real opportunity for Dallas. 4th down and 10. Dak pressured off the left side. He has to roll out and throw a prayer down the field. Jonathan Mingo, the intended target. This one did not get complete. It's a turnover on downs, and the Chargers would punch it in on their own right as Omarion Hampton, who returned from injury last week, does punch it in. It's 34-17. That would see the end of the day for Dak Prescott and company. Joe Milton inserts in at quarterback, scrambling, showing off the athleticism, but you got to show off the ball security as well. This one punched out by Derwin James at the line to gain there for Joe Milton, recovered by the Chargers, and that would spell the end of this one. The coaches meet at midfield. So do Herbert and Prescott, both quarterbacks with great seasons, but only one quarterback will be going to the playoffs, and that's Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. 34-17, the final score, brought to you by Miller Lite. When we come back, we're going to go to the film room. Isaiah Stanback's going to tell us what we saw on that Cowboys defensive side of the football when we come back.
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Welcome back into Cowboys game night, 34-17, the final score. Cowboys fall to the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Gave up 450 yards of total offense to Justin Herbert and the Chargers offensively. Nate, when you look at that defense, especially in the secondary, what went wrong on that side of the football?
Just confusion. That has been our problem the whole year. It's been lack of communication, guys going the wrong place. But today you can see where they out-schemed us too.
And that's a big thing, too. The scheme was a big element of this, Isaiah Stanback. Would you like to show us what happened in terms of the scheme today?
Come on over. Let's take a gander, right, don't we? All right, so everybody's talking about Matt Eberflus right now. Does he have job security? Does he not? Has he been affected this year? Dallas's defense has been at the bottom of the league. Let's talk about how in certain situations teams are understanding what he is going to present, and then they are out scheming what he is providing. So let's talk about this particular coverage. This is cover two, right? You have a corner right there. You have a corner up here. That's their responsibilities. They're responsible for the lower flat. Then we have a guy that's going to be coming out to the flat here. You have a Mike linebacker who's going to be coming out to the three-man receiver side, another underneath coverage. Then you have a safety that's responsible. Sorry, never say safety's going to be responsible for this side. He's responsible for that side. That's everybody's responsibilities. How do you take advantage of this? Well, as you guys are going to see, they're overloading. They're running a motion. So you have a three-man side. They're going to throw somebody right in the face of Trevon Diggs, who is right here. He's responsible for underneath. So if you put somebody in front of him, he has to stay there. Who is your backside safety? Well, that's going to be Malik Hooker. How do you take advantage of him? You run somebody right at him, right? You run somebody right at him. He has to take it. And then the open spot is going to be where? Open spot is going to be right here in the seams. That's exactly where they're going to take advantage of us. This is just simply out scheming. You guys are going to see the man come off the ball. Again, what we talked about, they ran a guy right in front of Trevon Diggs, holds him there. You have another man that's running right at your safety, holds him there. Who's going to be in that following gap back here in the corner? Absolutely nobody. This is where you're going to see Justin Herbert take full advantage, drive the ball down here in the corner. Nobody's there because the responsibilities of cover two say so. Now, that was being out-schemed. Let's go ahead and flip it to the other side where Matt Eberflus actually did a heck of a job of scheming something up. That was amazing. How many defensive linemen do we have on the left side of the center? 1, 2, 3. Those guys are all to the left side of the center. Tackle, guard, center. Those guys all have that responsibility. There's only so many guys, mano a mano. Who is going to be the guy he's trying to free up? Mike linebacker. Oh, that's not Mike linebacker. This is your Mike linebacker right here, okay? That's going to be Mr. Murray. So let's see it play out. Ball is snapped. Boom, boom, boom. Play it through. Pause it. Everybody's taking care of their responsibilities. I have my guy, I have my guy, I have my guy. So there's nobody left to take care of who? Nobody left to take care of Mr. Murray. He's the guy that Matt Eberflus drew up on this play because he understood the actual pass responsibilities of those offensive linemen to come free. It worked. Pause it right there. What else worked on this play? Man coverage, right? We manned up right here. Manned up right here, manned up right here. Nowhere to go with the ball. He drew up a perfect play for Murray to come in here and get the quarterback. He does so. Does he get the quarterback? Drew up a perfect play, but if the execution is not there, it doesn't work. So on one play, Matt Eberflus got out schemed. On another play, Matt Eberflus drew up the perfect play. His guys didn't execute it.
That's a big scenario there because, one, you're talking about guys. You see Trevon Diggs trailing Ladd McConkey for that touchdown. It was not Trevon Diggs' fault.
Right.
That one, you're saying, oh, well, he didn't get there. That you got to finish the tackles. What's happening in the middle of the field? There are so many things that are not seen over the course of a football game. These guys are seeing it, and they're trying to make adjustments, but it just didn't work out in their favor against a talented Chargers offense. When we come back, there were some things that did go right for Dallas in this game. One of those was George Pickens in the Cowboys' passing game. How did he have success against the Chargers defense?
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Cowboys, the game night rolling on here from Globe Life Studios at the Star in Frisco with Nate Newton and Isaiah Stanback and Kyle Yeomans. Cowboys fall to the Chargers 34-17, but another big day for George Pickens, over 100 yards receiving. He did have that 38-yard touchdown reception on a beautiful throw from Dak Prescott in the first half. Felt like early that was going to be the case. It's going to be CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens, the back in the fourth. like we've seen throughout the season, that didn't necessarily continue. The consistency fell off. But how much have you seen George Pickens continue to prove his case to be one of the best receivers in the NFC?
He is. I mean, the guys play lights out, man. The routes that he runs with great zest and great flavor. He's just a big-time player. And then he's got CD on the other side. With those two guys, I don't think they can be stopped.
Listen, George Pickens has done everything that you hoped that he would do this season when you went out and you traded for him. He is a one-on-one nightmare for any quarterback in this league. He has been a yak monster, yards after catch. His catch radius is crazy. His ability to track the ball down is crazy. Everything that you've asked him to do has been great. He can probably improve in a run blocking aspect, but he's been willing. You're just looking for him to continue to finish the job, and then you have the discussion about contracts.
Yeah, the contract thing is going to be a question mark. But how big was it to see him bounce back in a game like this?
It's huge.
Because he didn't necessarily have the production over these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, different coverages, right? I mean, prior to today, they were playing him. They were double covering him. They were pressing at the line of scrimmage, and then they were putting a safety over the top. CeeDee Lamb was gone for a good portion of that. When he came back, right, then they started messing with the coverages a little bit more. But tonight, what you saw was him finding holes in the defense, in the zone defense. You also saw him winning his one-on-one matchups. When Dak came up to the line of scrimmage and saw one-on-one coverage against George Pickens, he's like, oh, that's where I'm going with the ball, and you saw the result of it.
Oh, you waiting on me to?
Yeah, I'm waiting on you to
How can I add to that?
Absolutely.
This guy's a quarterback and a wide receiving. I can't.
You
add
won
to that.
3 Super Bowls. You can add to whatever you want.
3.
I mean, he's more athletic than Michael Irvin, but he can't jump higher than Dez. I mean, what do you want me to say? Great job, Isaiah. That's all I can add to that, Kyle. I'm sorry.
That's fair. That's
I'm sorry.
That's how we're doing it here. I know it's the end of the season, guys. When we come back here on Cowboys Game Night, I do want to talk about the return of Trevon Diggs. He did make his return to this Cowboys secondary. Did he live up to the expectations? What are the thought processes for him moving forward?
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
One, I'm healthy. Proud I'm healthy. Proud I played all the plays. Proud I went out there, competed, gave it everything. And I'm glad I was just out there with the guys.
There was so much speculation about what happened. Can you just tell people what it was?
It was a TV mount pole.
And it was one of those larger poles from the ceiling, right?
Yeah, I was trying to be a handyman, which I shouldn't have been, but.
Do you wish that you just gotten that out there sooner?
I mean, yeah, but it wasn't that serious to me, so I didn't feel like it was,
But it started getting serious from the internet, some of the speculation.
Mm-hmm.
What about the difference with Eberflus in the booth today? What did you players notice from not having that on the sidelines? How was that different?
How was it different? I don't know. I mean, it's my first week back, so you probably have to ask the other guys because I haven't really been out there on the sideline, getting the coaching adjustments and stuff. But I don't know.
What about facing Justin?
So some uncertainty there from Trevon Diggs. You heard there what ultimately led to the injury, talking about how it was a TV mount. And there are reports and videos out there now on social media, if you want to check it out, that has the TV mount that ultimately led to how he got hurt in the first place. But it was also listed as a concussion, as a knee, as an ankle, as whatever it ends up being. There are a lot of things there. He did talk about how he was proud to make a return, how he was proud to be back out there today. And, of course, everybody's happy to see Trevon Diggs out there for the most part. They want to see him play at a high level. The secondary did not play at a high level for the most part, and you already broke down a part of that, Isaiah. But this defense with Matt Eberflus in the booth being a topic of conversation, did it live up to what you wanted to see from them against the Chargers in this one?
No, not at all. Not at all. But, I mean, this is a tough outfit to go out there and have success against. And when you're already a struggling defense, especially in the secondary, that's not going to help your cause. These guys have a solid 3, 4, 5 receivers on their roster. And you saw it, to really net the same type of results. Guys were making plays like what you just saw there. Johnson had a heck of a day. Trevon Diggs, it was great to see him back on the field. Nobody, at least I don't wish him any harm. I don't wish him, anything but good luck. I want to see him out there. He's a heck of a football player when he wants to be. He's a heck of a teammate when he wants to be. But again, that aspect of it, when you have to say what somebody wants to be, I think that's the concern that the Dallas Cowboys organization has.
We can keep talking about this kid. Does he make the team better? Does he get better? The bottom line is this: from day one, y'all, we have not had a decent secondary, a decent secondary play. The guys have been hurt. Guys have not been able to live up to the billing. Guys cannot communicate. It's a whole lot of things that the Cowboys are going to have to, when this season get over with, they're going to have to just pull out the film, judge each guy on his own merits, and let it fall where it lay.
And I think that's the biggest conversation is that going to be an influx of talent from the draft? Is it going to be an influx of talent from free agency? But either way, you look at this cornerback room and you say, without Deron Bland, without Kalen Carson, these injuries have ravaged your secondary, and it still continues to be guys that are trying to take their game to the next level, but just haven't had the success to do so yet.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're playing with, Bridges, you're playing with Revel, who's not healthy, you're playing with,
Reddy Stewart out of position.
Stewart, listen, you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to make it work. You're trying to make a meal with ingredients that necessarily aren't the way in which you would have drawn it up. They're doing their best, but to your point, there's going to be a lot that changes this offseason.
This has been just a bad deal in our secondary. Starting with the communication is just a lack of healthiness. Guys got to understand you either want to be here or you don't.
That's a good point, and we're going to see who that wants to be starting as early as Christmas Day. The Cowboys and the Commanders meeting on Thursday. When we come back, Nate Newton and Isaiah Stanback give us their learning lessons from this one. What did we learn about the Cowboys team today?
To watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
34-17, the final score from AT&T Stadium. The Chargers defeat the Dallas Cowboys in Week 16. 452 total yards of offense, and it was a balanced attack for the Chargers. $152 on the ground, 300 even through the air, and they stayed penalty-free for the most part in that game. Chargers handily take care of business in this one. The Cowboys have a short week. They take on the Washington Commanders on Christmas Day, a 1 o'clock start time as the Cowboys and Commanders again face off for the final time this season. Back with Nate Newton and Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Time now to talk about the learning lessons in this football game. What did you learn about the Cowboys, and how does that affect them moving into these final two games?
4 quarters of football. You have to play 4 quarters of football. Obviously, the Dallas Cowboys offense showed up in the first half in a solid way, try to go blow for blow. However, the defense did not show up, and then the offense did not finish the game offensively the way in which they started. So you have to be able to play full games. The execution just was not there consistently on both sides of the ball.
That one player does make a difference, and Quentin Williams not being there today made a difference, especially with the pressure up in the middle. I think that would have slowed down some of the running with Herbert for us running the ball. Running the ball out, trying to pass it up the middle. So one player makes a difference, and they need to get better players. And
they certainly did make a difference across the board. Washington coming into this game, they're beat up. They're down as well. What do you expect to see from the Commanders?
The Commanders are going to fight. You have Dan Quinn. We know him all too well. His team is going to come out and fight, and you can expect no different. You just got to execute, man. It's going to be a barn dog fight.
Yeah, the Grinch stole Christmas. Don't let him come try to steal it. We go get him in the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go. We have an extra special edition of Cowboys Pregame Live coming up on the Dallas Cowboys streaming platforms this week, so be sure to check that out, 11 a.m. Central Time on Christmas Day. Happy holidays, everybody. Be safe. Can't wait to see you for the Cowboys and the Commanders coming up on Thursday. That does it for us here on Cowboys Game Night here from the Star in Frisco. The Cowboys fall to the Los Angeles Chargers, 34-17, the final score in Week 16. For Nate Newton, Isaiah Stanback, and our entire Cowboys crew, I'm Kyle Yeoman saying see you on Thursday.